Today, we're diving deep into one of the most misunderstood characters from Total Drama, Ezekiel. This homeschooled country boy might not have gotten much screen time, but there's more to him than meets the eye, so let's break down his character arc, his personality, and explore how he went from first out to feral outcast. Ezekiel is introduced in the very first season, Total Drama Island, as the homeschooled farm boy with little social experience. His personality is awkward and a bit sheltered, but you can't help but feel that he's well-meaning, just unaware of how to navigate social situations. From the get-go, it's clear that Ezekiel isn't on the same wavelength as the other campers. He makes his most memorable and infamous mistake early on by making a sexist comment about women being worse at sports than men, which leads to him being quickly ostracized by his team. It's an awkward and uncomfortable moment, and, although the comment is unacceptable, we can chalk it up to his sheltered upbringing. He clearly didn't know better, but his lack of awareness and inability to adapt socially make him the first one voted out. What's interesting here is that Ezekiel's downfall is entirely based on his lack of social skills. Total Drama is a show that thrives on big personalities, and Ezekiel doesn't have the charisma or quick wit to survive. But is that entirely his fault? The show doesn't give him much of a chance, and the other campers quickly throw him to the wolves. Fast forward to Total Drama World Tour, and Ezekiel is given another chance. But here's where things take a drastic turn. He starts out still awkward, clearly not having learned much from his brief stint on Total Drama Island, but instead of being booted immediately, and never to be seen again until the finale, he's kept around as a background character. As the season progresses, Ezekiel becomes less of a contestant, and more of a running gag. His social awkwardness turns into desperation as he tries to fit in, and this only pushes him further away from the group. But it's not until he's eliminated first once again, and returns as a stowaway, that we see a dramatic shift in his character. Over the course of World Tour, Ezekiel's transformation into a feral, almost animalistic version of himself is both comedic and tragic. By the end of the season, he's completely unrecognizable, having devolved into a wild, feral creature living in the cargo hold of the plane. This shift is played for laughs, but if you think about it, Ezekiel's transformation represents something deeper. His inability to adapt to social norms and his ultimate rejection by the group leads him to lose his humanity. It's an exaggerated take, sure, but it's fascinating to see how his exclusion from the game affects him so severely. Instead of getting redemption, Ezekiel is pushed further away, becoming an outsider in every sense of the word. This makes him one of the only Total Drama characters whose arc revolves around isolation rather than growth, and it's one of the reasons why Ezekiel stands out as such a unique character. Ezekiel's devolution can be viewed as a psychological breakdown. His isolation, ridicule, and lack of social awareness contribute to his complete descent into madness by the end of World Tour. He's a tragic figure in many ways, a character who never really had a chance to prove himself, and instead became a running joke. The symbolism behind Ezekiel's transformation is significant. He represents what happens when someone is cast aside by society, and never given the opportunity to grow or learn from their mistakes. While the other contestants evolve, build alliances, and develop relationships, Ezekiel spirals downward. His character arc serves as a warning tale about the dangers of alienation. So, what can we learn from Ezekiel's journey in Total Drama? He's not just a joke character. Beneath the surface, his story highlights the importance of inclusion, the impact of rejection, and how isolation can lead to tragic consequences. Ezekiel's descent into madness might be played for laughs in the show, but when you take a step back, it's a reminder of how important social dynamics are, and how, when someone doesn't fit in, they can be pushed to extreme lengths. What do you think? Was Ezekiel a wasted opportunity for deeper character development, or did Total Drama nail his role as the outcast? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below.